So we made it through security. We're headed to our flight to Chicago. Say hi. We had some lunch. Our flight board's in about 10 minutes, but we're right next to our gate, so we should be there soon. And then we're just ready to go to
South Korea.
We're ready for Umrah, inshallah. So we'll catch up with you guys as we get on the plane.
Thank you.
Thank you. Alright guys, we are on our flight from Chicago to Amman, Jordan. We are making progress. And then in Amman, we will have a 6.5-hour layover before we go to Saudi. Just passing time. Might watch a movie soon. See you guys when we land. We are here at Jordan International Airport, waiting on our flight to Umrah.
Got here about 6 hours ago, and we just ate some dinner. They had the Maghrib on over the intercom. So now we're just waiting. Pretty soon he's gonna change into his ihram. I'm gonna change into my abaya, and then inshallah this will be our last flight. We've currently been on how many, like 16 hours worth of planes.
Yeah, 2 flights, 16 hours worth of planes. We're just excited to finally get to Jeddah and then finally get to Makkah, inshallah, and get to our hotel room.
Yeah, this flight is not too bad. It's only like 2 hours, and then we'll basically go straight and do freshen up at the hotel, and then do Umrah, inshallah.
Inshallah. Hi, kitty.
Mountains of Mecca, what can you say of the day that Abraham passed your way? And he was instructed by God to build a house of peace where people will pray, and they will come on every lean camel and out of every ravine. for the purpose of praising Allah, to glorify Allah.
So after Fajr, we started our Umrah by doing Tawaf, which is going around the Kaaba 7 times and making dua.
We then prayed 2 rakahs behind Maqam Ibrahim, which is the location where Prophet Ibrahim stood while building the Kaaba.
Next, we drank some Zamzam water. They have coolers all throughout the Haram you can get it from. And we turned towards the Kaaba as we drank it, and then we made dua.
Our last step of Umrah is to perform the sa'i, which is to walk between Safa and Marwa 7 times while making dua. Now it was time for us to exit our ihram, which for me meant shaving my head. Thank you.
The whole entire haircut was actually really quick. It took maybe like 15 minutes. I was waiting outside since not too many women go inside the barber shops. Prior to us going on Umrah, Hassan had already mentioned that he wanted to shave his head. So I was mentally prepared to see a bald version of him, but it is just a lot more different when you actually see somebody that you know bald and are not used to that. Like, he made eye contact with me and I was just like, who is this guy looking at me? And then it, it took a couple seconds for it to click. But alhamdulillah, I'm happy he did it, because they say that every hair that you shave on Umrah becomes a witness for your Umrah. So here's a little closet, bathroom, and a little seating area, and some beds. There's a little corner over here, the TV, and then there's that. And just around the corner there, you can kind of get a little glimpse of the Haram.
The people of Arabia did something so atrocious, so horrible, that it was not known that any other people adopted this one thing. And that is, they killed their own children. They would bury their daughters alive. And this is one of the places where they did it. There's children that were buried here alive. The machination of like the hard bricks and everything. And in the middle of that is the one reason why the Prophet ﷺ was sent to these people first. The scholars say that these people did something so horrible that Allah sent guidance to them first. And if they were to be guided, anyone else could be guided. This building right here, right behind me, is known as what's called on that sign, Maktabat Makkah al-Mukarramah, the Library of Mecca. And this actually is a preservation of the home of the Prophet ﷺ's father, Abdullah, and this is where he was born. House of Assembly, or the Congress of Quraysh, was right here, in this area. This area right here. The home, the time of the Prophet ﷺ was literally like 50 feet, empty space, and then homes started. Where you are right now are homes. So he comes up here, and when he calls them by name, they're all startled, like what's going on? The Prophet ﷺ tells them, what would you say if I tell you that there is an army right behind this mountain. Can you see behind the mountain right now? No. So you're looking at the same view that they did. Okay? That there's an army behind this mountain. They're going to come here and attack you all. What would you say? They said, Anta Sadiq al-Amin. You're the most truthful from all of us, the most trustworthy. Of course we believe. So then he says, what would you say then? That if I, me, the one that you're describing with these characteristics, tell you that you're going to be responsible one day for Almighty Lord that will hold you responsible for your actions.
And there's a certain blessing to being, like we talked about last night, like reduced in your expectations and luxuries. And Mina, in the tents, when you're staying there, it really shows you like who you are when you have to share space with everybody in bathrooms and just kind of coexist with so many people and be a guest with so many other guests. People go to the other side, it's very crowded. But if you look up there to the left, you guys see people climbing? Yeah, you see a lot more climbing from the other side, but at the top, that's where the Prophet ﷺ would be. That's where Ghari Hira is.
Being loyal to the Prophet ﷺ is something that she was a master of, but we can also take from that. We can be loyal to the Prophet ﷺ. And this kind of relationship that they had, it transcended, I mean, it was obviously they were husband and wife, but it even transcended that. It was something much more beautiful and much more, it grew out of their love for one another, and it grew to something much more substantial. She was the person that when she passed away, it was the beginning of the year of sadness for the Prophet ﷺ.
Assalamu alaikum.
وعليكم السلام. سيارتي على اليمين وخلص.
Now we're at Jabal al-Rahma.
Yeah.
This is the spot where Prophet Adam and Hawa were united.
Yep. And this is also where the Prophet ﷺ, one of the spots where he gave his farewell sermon that is reported in the hadith.
Mountains of Mecca, what can you tell of the day that stones from the sky fell, destroying an army determined to break the house of Allah that Abraham built? Oh, mountains of Mecca, how was the dawn on the day that my prophet Muhammad was born? How did it feel knowing he was to be the last and most beloved of all? Rasul of Allah, Nabi of Allah. Oh, mountains of Mecca, you were there when the Prophet Muhammad climbed down in despair. Engraved in his heart were the words of his Lord. To all of mankind this was his call. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. Oh people, praise only Allah.